just firstly an overview of the mining sector in Zimbabwe.
Thank you very much. Obviously, the mining sector, like every other sector in the country, has gone through a tough time, mainly because of the severe economic difficulties we experienced over the last few years. As far as mining is concerned, if you look at the various minerals, gold, at peak in 1999, we used to produce just about 27 tons. In fact, at that point, the estimate was that we were going to reach about 50 tons within a period of 10 years, which means by now, 2009, we should be producing about 50 tons. But that obviously hasn't happened because of the economic problems. In fact, last year, we only produced 3.5 tons. That shows the potential which is there to get that going. So basically, the way gold is mined or was marketed in those days was by law, we were required to sell the gold to the Reserve Bank. But that has since changed. We can sell the gold to anyone. In fact, at the moment, we are selling our gold to the Rand refinery in South Africa. And that's going quite well. Gold production has picked up. And we think by the end of the year, we'll have done about 4 tons. And next year, 2010, we should be able to clock in excess of 10 tons.
All right, now investors are concerned about a variety of things, but I think top of the agenda for them are property rights and ownership. Zimbabwe has an indigenization program where 60% of assets must be locally owned. So that has one impact on shareholding. And then there's the Mines and Minerals Act, which investors say needs some reform.
Okay, I think I can cover that in actually the Mines and Minerals Act itself. The amendments to the Mines and Minerals Act contained a section on indigenization. And then the other section is on the technical side, which means the application of the law as far as mineral rights are concerned. On the technical side, the administration of mineral rights, the Chamber of Mines of Zimbabwe had an input into that. And basically, we think that's been done very well. We have given our input. At the moment, we're busy writing the regulations which would govern that. That, as far as I'm concerned, in fact, the whole mining industry in Zimbabwe, we think it's a very good side. The other side of the Mines and Minerals Act is obviously the Indigenization and Empowerment Act. That act required all companies to be 51% owned locally. But that bill was allowed to lapse. And the government has come back now and said we need an act which actually encourages foreign direct investment. Obviously, mining is high capital. Right. It's capital intensive, and at 51% local ownership, we are unlikely to attract the investment which we need. So basically, the government has accepted that, and we are busy engaging them. We're looking at various ways of ensuring empowerment. All
right, how cheap are mining stocks right now? Many people would expect it to be quite cheap given the economic slump and the broader question of recession within Zimbabwe. But at the same time, investors are concerned about how much money they have to invest in order just to resuscitate the mining infrastructure.
Our mining assets in Zimbabwe are significantly undervalued, like all assets in Zimbabwe. Obviously, the recession, or rather the economic problems in Zimbabwe, have affected the valuation of mining assets in Zimbabwe. And in addition, this global recession has also had an impact because there's less money chasing investments. But basically, I think whoever comes, they will need to put in a bit of money to revive the mining industry. But yes, mining assets are significantly undervalued.
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, mining in Zimbabwe, I mean, if you look at mining, I mean, I stand to correction here, but they sit on the second largest platinum reserves in the world. And this is why people are interested about mining in Zimbabwe, because it's mineral rich, really, really mineral rich. The coalition government obviously has given a new wave of kind of interest in the country, or have attracted interest in the country, obviously because it creates some form of stability. The question I really have, though, is from an infrastructure perspective, has Zimbabwe got the infrastructure as far as power is concerned and the labor force and so forth in order to actually make sure that the mines can actually run and actually be able to actually extract the minerals at the least cost, on least cost basis?
Well, I would say that, yes, Zimbabwe is very mineral rich. Platinum, like you rightly say, we have maybe the second biggest known deposit in the world after South Africa. Gold, like I have already said, the potential is to get to 50 tons if we put in adequate money into exploration. Infrastructure, you talk about power. Yeah, the whole Southern African region is experiencing power problems. But I think there are plans to put that in place, right? Most of the other infrastructure is really in place over the years. It might have deteriorated a bit, but the infrastructure is largely in place. As far as skills are concerned, in days gone by, the training of skills in Zimbabwe was very good. In fact, if you look with the collapse of the Zimbabwean economy, a lot of the skills actually migrated into the region, Southern African region, and into the diaspora as far as Australia. So I reckon with the dollarized economy which we're experiencing now in Zimbabwe, if we are paying enough for those skills, we should be able to get them back. We've had good training institutions like the universities, the School of Mines in Zimbabwe. Those are institutions which all are in place. I think the issue is actually getting resources into them to start training people again.
Okay, final and brief question to you. Everybody acknowledges that the unity government has a few problems of its own, and many people are concerned about its sustainability, this coalition. That's the first thing. But secondly, government's tendency to be involved within the mining sector, either by taking over mines, as we've seen happen in recent years, or putting mines under some sort of curatorship. What's happened there?
Okay, as far as the unity government is concerned, one has to say the three main political parties, I think they all need each other. I don't believe any of them can make it work on their own at the moment, and they've accepted that. There are problems, but they are working to sort them out. And I believe even when Morgan Tsvangirai has been on his roadshow, the issue was, yes, there are problems, but we're sorting them out. We're working to sort them out. I think that's the important thing is actually to look forward and say, what can we do? And the guys are doing it. They just need a little bit of support.